We're back at JPMorgan's Leveraged Finance Conference in Miami Beach, and I'm here with someone who knows the space very well. It is Claire McDonough. She is Chief Financial Officer of Rivian. She was previously a banker at JPMorgan, a managing director in the disruptive commerce area, I believe. She was the head of that group, and here you are as the Chief Financial Officer of a car company and a technology company that is gaining a lot of headlines. Welcome, thanks for speaking with us. I just want to start with how much of a roller coaster the past year has been on a whole host of different levers. How have you managed through the whole thing?
Well, first off, thanks so much for having me, Lisa. As we think about the last 12 months, it was really a 12-month period of building our foundation for our next vehicles that are coming to market, which is the R2, which is a mass market price point product. It's a 5-passenger SUV. And we had the course of 2025 to really prepare our manufacturing facility, our supply chain, all of the development for this new product, which we're here right now, just about to launch in the second quarter with our very first deliveries of R2 to the broader marketplace.
Okay, we're going to get into R2 in just a second, but taking a step back, how much of a challenge has it been with the whole tax EV credit that rolled off and this question of exactly the role of electric vehicles in U.S. auto manufacturing? I mean, has that been a blow to demand, a blow to some of your plans going forward?
So as you take a step back and look at the intention of the Inflation Reduction Act credits associated with EVs, it was really to create pricing parity between a combustion engine vehicle and an EV. And so one of the key mitigating factors that we've been deploying is to bring a car like R2, which has a base price of about $45,000, which is actually below the average new vehicle price in the US, which is around $50,000 today. So we've done it through engineering, design changes, a lot of trade-offs in the product. It allows us to bring a car to market that is incredibly high performance, 600 plus horsepower, 300 plus miles of range, but at an affordable price point that allows us to open up the market to really, the vast majority of consumers as well.
How have you managed through questions around tariffs, through supply chains, and still be able to bring the price down to $45,000, especially given component issues, memory issues, some of the tech supplies and things of that nature?
We're in an advantaged situation that 100% of our U.S. our manufacturing is done in the U.S. and the majority of our supply chain is domestic or USMCA compliant as well. And so for Rivian, we're affected certainly by tariffs, but at a much lesser degree than many of the other OEMs across the U.S. market as well. And so we've been able to continue through a lot of commercial negotiations with the supply base and engineering design efficiencies, and leveraging our core technologies in the product that have enabled us still to have a path to bring the price point down significantly as we think about our next generation product.
Today, the ISM Manufacturing Index came out much hotter than expected. Prices paid also increased more than expected. I'm just wondering from your experience whether you're sensing that a manufacturing boom in the United States in particular is causing price pressures, is making it that much more challenging to find the suppliers to give you the product that you need to make the price point that you want.
There certainly has been some headwinds from AI in general. So the development of data centers that is, as you mentioned, memory that has created some short-term challenges as we think about access there. Rivian is really at the forefront of growing US-based manufacturing jobs. So we're going to add 2,000 new roles in our facility in Normal, Illinois. And then when we add our new Georgia plant online, that will bring roughly about 7,500 new US jobs as well.
Another thing about the R2 as it comes out is this is also going to be a foray, I believe, into Europe and the European market. Why is now the right time for that?
We designed R2 with global markets in mind. Our launch products were very domestic focused. So we started with an electric truck and a 3-row SUV, so very North American form factor in terms of the sizing. With R2, that's the largest market segment, the two-row SUV globally. And so we wanted to ensure that Rivian wasn't just developing a North American brand, but we were really having a brand that it would extend to many end markets. So we're really excited now to have R2 and the opportunity to launch the product and build our brand in Europe.
How much does this really put you head-to-head with Chinese competition for the first time? I mean, a lot of Chinese electric vehicles are not sold in the United States, none are. In Europe, increasingly the market is opening up. How are you going to face off with this?
Sure, as you think about Rivian and many of the Chinese OEMs, both sides started with what I would characterize as a clean sheet. We built software-defined vehicles from scratch versus adapting legacy platforms into the electrification universe. And so as you think about the characteristics that Rivian brings to the table, it's that software-defined and now AI-defined architecture, it's advanced autonomy features that we have as well. And it all comes in, the performance and utility and the adventurous spirit that you associate with the Rivian brand as well.
This is fascinating because we've spoken to a lot of the legacy providers, I'm thinking of the GMs, the Fords, et cetera, others as well, who have said that truly, if you even the playing field between the US, or if you just have the US going against China, US can't compete in the electric vehicle space. And that ultimately they ought to just give up the game because China has gotten so far with it that they already are winning leaps and bounds above the United States. Do you disagree with that?
So as you look at the core foundations of having a clean sheet and the technology enablement and structural cost advantages that brings, it enables you an opportunity to compete in a way that is differentiated in market. And if you were to give everyone sort of the same table stakes of the same labor cost and structural efficiencies, I would say there's not too much different there as you think about Rivian's ability to compete versus other players in market.
Given the fact that you're looking to make a more affordable car, $45,000 price point really is significantly below a lot of the more oil-using cars. I'm just wondering from your perspective, is this the right moment because of concerns about affordability? I mean, how much demand have you seen for that type of product?
For us, it's the opportunity to really open the addressable market. So today, our R1 vehicles, our truck and our SUV, have an average selling price of about $90,000. But they're class leading in the premium space. So we're the best-selling SUV over $70,000, combustion engine or EV in the state of California, for example, and the best-selling SUV over $70,000 across the US. And so as you think about the opportunity now, it's to catalyze choice in the EV space for consumers and attract the 90% of customers that today are buying a combustion engine vehicle with a product that is going to really wow them in terms of its performance, capability, and the fact that it's an EV with really no compromises as many consumers make their very, very first EV purchase, we hope, with R2.
It went from range anxiety and questions of why people weren't buying electric vehicles over combustion engine vehicles. I'm wondering if you've noticed a vibe shift, because there seems to be a push away from the green agenda and all sorts of other initiatives that reduce fossil fuels. Have you felt that in terms of how you market, how you position, in terms of how the demand is for Rivian?
For us, we want to just have the very best car in the market. And so whether you're coming and buying a Rivian because of your affinity towards sustainability or the environment, or you come to Rivian because it's a fantastic design or the driving performance, it's what attracts you. We really just want all customers to come to the table and experience the product for the very first time. And so one of our key initiatives is getting more and more customers behind the wheel to test drive the product, because that's the best way to showcase just what a Rivian can provide.
I want to finish up on, you said get customers behind the wheel. What's the future going to look like? Are we going to be behind the wheel in 5 years, or is Rivian going to drive itself to pick us up at work and then shuttle us to our kids' practice?
Well, we believe that the future is autonomous, and we're looking forward to playing a meaningful role in the acceleration of autonomy in the consumer vehicle space. Our ambition is certainly to bring to market an L4 capable vehicle that you could personally own and could drop your kids off at practice, could drop you at the airport for a business trip.
Do you have a time frame for that?
We haven't given an exact time frame, but we're working hard towards it.